Here we are with component 4E, growing and developing professionally. Okay, and we're looking at the enhancement of content knowledge and pedagogical skill in service to the profession. I combined them all both into one and have a little list here of things that's happened throughout the year this year that go along with that. Okay, and we're going to talk about some of those. I think you'll enjoy this. Okay. Um, so let's start with our staff development, and I think this is something we've touched upon. Once again, curriculum mapping. It's important to look at your curriculum as a department, individually, with teams in mind, and your students in mind. This is kind of a curriculum, different units that we have tweaked throughout the years and saying, this is an appropriate time to teach this unit. And in relation to the state exam, in relation to where the students are developmentally, I think it's a good way to linearly map out things and kind of get a year at a glance and then reflect on it later on by saying, okay, well, we did this last year, we did this, let's move this over here. And then, of course, you can drag it here, drag it there, and see where things overlap. So I think that's a good solid way to look at it. It does take a little time, and like I said, it is a work in progress. So I think we've had some staff development about this year. If you can see that, if we go to for my department chair, you can see that October 28th and November 1st of this year, and a day in December 21st. Steffi Friedman and I also took a couple professional days. December 4th, I believe, was one. And then there are a couple of dates in January as well where we did those curriculum mapping days, professional days, staff development days, all working on the Atlas curriculum map, going through and, looking at different units, whether it's throughout the year or whatever it may be, going through, adding in the standards, Common Core, of course, keeping those things in mind, putting in the content, the skills, the essential questions, the guiding questions, the content themselves, the assessments, the types of things we're putting in, really taking a look at where we are throughout the year. Okay, so I think that's a really important part of developing yourself and something new that the entire school district is doing this year, which I think is good. And it kind of will help us from year to year. Let's see. Another thing that we want to take a look at is staff development in the idea of the Common Core shift. We've had a couple of days where on February 15th, we all went over and took a half a day to talk about the Common Core shift, which I think is a real important part of where we're headed, and to understand that. So through these professional development sessions, we're really taking a look at that shift in the Common Core and modifying our teaching with what we need to be doing with that. And let's. I think it's something that we need to take a look at, but we'll talk about that in a second. It's kind of the way we plan our instruction. Let's see, where are we? Lost my place. Okay. All right. Next, we have staff development. One other staff development that I took this year, as I mentioned earlier, and I found the email now with John Bullington. Over winter break, I took organizing electronic data email with appointments, and it was me, and I think I was the only teacher there. There were a lot of secretaries and administrators, but I think you can see where I signed up right here. Then I came in over the winter break in February and sat and organized my email and learned how to use the calendar feature and reminders and all those kinds. And I registered for those things. So that was kind of a neat day. I enjoyed doing that. Moving right back to Domain 4. As I said before, I had taught at Superintendent's Conference Day, and this was something that I did with my buddy Tom Millington, who teaches right across the hall from me. And that day was March the 23rd, 3rd. And I wish I had the roster, but I can't seem to find it. But you know, they did send us this, and Chris Wormuth did have our schedule for all the people that we had, and I thought it was very, very, very successful. Not only taking staff development, but actually teaching staff development types of classes have been something that I've been doing since I started here, right from my first year. And I always try to do at every superintendent's conference, at least teach one class about something. I've done something before with student websites and different pieces of technology that we've used, the profile of a middle school student, those kinds of things. This year was great because Tom and I really kind of modified our teaching using what we were talking about earlier, Edmodo, and that seemed to be something that was very, very helpful to us and a lot of teachers. They really enjoyed it. Of course, there it is again, the social networking site for education. One other thing that I mentioned in the previous was that Tom and I also taught at, and I found it, we put it on my website, taught with 2 other colleagues a bunch of student teachers, which was really good, with a Prezi, okay, interactive PowerPoint that we talked about flipping the model, and we called it Web 2.0 and beyond. And the 4 of us put this together, talking about technology, flipping the model of the classroom, and how technology should be used to, you know, collaborate, because things are definitely changing, and students need to, they're going to be using technology, as you know, every day in their lives. So we put this little piece together with the help of Chris Anderson and Michelle McManus, you know, trying to find out where do, you know, ideas come from, how you can use things like YouTube, how you can use things, you know, to videos and everything to display student work, you know, how you can publish your work, you know, through websites, student-based websites, communicating with Edmodo, like we said. All of the things that kind of go along with it. So we use this Prezi as the basis of our presentation, and gave them, the student teachers, a ton of stuff. They were really excited to take it back to their cooperating teachers and their placements. From the list that we had given them, they were extremely happy, and you know, they really wanted to use those things. I mean, if you look at some of the, we hyperlinked all the documents and sent this all to them. So there are so many different free web-based programs that we had given them to use. It was very helpful to them, and linked them to all of our websites and everything, so we could see what there was to offer. So that was a great program. And speaking of student teachers and Siena College, I've kind of built a relationship with them over the year. This year, I had a student teacher. Her name was Jennifer Reich, and she just finished this last week. We got her doing Edmodo as well. We got her flipping her own model. There she is, you know, sending out videos with instructions for students and what they need to do.
Hello everyone. I wanted to talk to you about our upcoming poetry project, which will...
So you can see that you know, she's kind of in it as well, and doing things with technology, uploading, you know, different PowerPoints, and using technology, embracing technology, and kind of continuing it through the curriculum that we've built here in 8th grade English, by kind of making things a lot easier. And so she just finished that, so it was really nice having a mentor. I try to take a student teacher every year, and I try to you know, show them all the different parts about teaching, and you know, things. And she was really happy to get this type of experience after coming from a more diverse experience in Schenectady, where it was a little bit different. She was really excited to work with suburban kids. She was really excited to use technology in the classroom and teach at the middle school level. I think she really enjoyed it. And last but not least, to some of the things that we did were, I did get a chance this year, asked by my department chair, Diane De Silva, to teach. She had asked me to come to Siena Hall on the 9th, to come to Siena Hall and teach multimedia in the classroom. I volunteered this and helped out with a project that they were working on and showed them all kinds of different things this year that would really help them with their teaching. And I was really excited to lecture there, and it really went well, and students, I think they responded to it. One of the couple other things I've done this year, changed it up a little bit. I'm always like to keep things fresh when I teach. One of the couple great websites that I found this year, instead of reinventing the wheel with, all the different stuff that we have, Teachers Discovery usually sends out a flyer every month with different things, and I actually spent some money this year and bought some new things from different things. I bought a video series by something called EduFlix, which was really kind of neat. They have streaming video, and they have different videos that have to do with SAT words. So I purchased those this year and purchased some different things, and they really helped expand the students' vocabulary this year. It was a win-win, and in fact, when I was grading the ELA, many of my colleagues commented on how well and mature the students' vocabulary had become. So it was a real confidence booster for me, because I was happy using these EduFlix videos really helped. Of course, we use the Charlotte Danielson model for professional practice, kind of what we're outlining the last part of right now. And I have a book on enhancing professional practice, of course, written by Danielson, the framework for teaching, and it gives many examples as well as examples. Also, there's a couple of books that just that have been brought to our department with the Common Core Shift. Common Core English Language Arts New York and the People's Common Core, and I used a lot of those in different observations this year and different ideas I've taken from them. So those are good things, all things that kind of enhance my knowledge and content and pedagogy and all those things, and kind of bring the profession back that way. So little list of things right here that we've done this year to bring a close to component 4E. Okay, moving on.